Guys, I wanted to take some time in this video to talk about the Sig Sauer P320 and the recent lawsuit that was settled where Sig was found liable and awarded someone, or the courts awarded someone, over $2 million. And I think it's complete bogus, and I'm going to tell you why, so stick around. But before we get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would like and share this video, as well as subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment down below. And also check out the links down in the description as well. As many of you all know, the Sig P320 is one that has been, I guess you could say, embroiled in controversy. There's a lot of folks out there claiming that these guns are just simply going off, or I should say there's several folks out there, and they are trying to excuse bad behavior and mishandling of the firearms. I've got another video on this channel, and I'll leave a card up in the corner here to where you guys can go over and check it out, to where I show you that it is impossible for this gun to go off unless you press that trigger. Now, what happened in the recent lawsuit, and this is what a lot of people are not talking about. We've got a lot of folks, even on YouTube, these gun tubers, that are doing a huge disservice to the firearms community because they're jumping on the hate Sig bandwagon. And guys, just to tell you, I do not have any kind of relationship with Sig Sauer. I own a couple of their guns, or a few of their guns, and as well as several others from different manufacturers. I am someone who simply enjoys firearms, that likes to get out the truth when it comes to firearms and how they perform, how they function, and that sort of thing. And if you are a follower of my channel, you know that I regularly shoot various different types of firearms, including Sig Sauer. Now, one thing that I want to point out that was brought up in the courts as part of this trial that absolutely highlights just how insane this case was overall. Now, just to show you guys, I'm actually going to pull this article up and show you this article. This is the article here. You can see it here, Gunmaker Sig found liable in shooting accident. And just to show you, I'm going to scroll down here because there's part of this article that I want you to see, okay, that I think that is critical, that talks a little bit about the trial and how things progressed. If you look at the article, in, let's see here, right here, I've got it highlighted here. During the trial, during the Georgia trial, Lang conceded that it's possible an unknown object or pressure from his gun's holster had manipulated the trigger. But he argued that a properly designed gun would possess safeties to prevent it from firing in such a situation. Now, so basically what he is saying here is that he admits that it's possible something got against the trigger of the gun. And that's the key thing, because a gun is designed to go off when you press that trigger. Any gun safety class is going to teach you to make sure that you keep your finger off of that trigger, to make sure that you use a good quality holster. Now, that's another big thing as well. There was a case that I did a video on where I talked about did a breakdown basically of where a gun went off that was holstered. And in that video, I talk about how that it was not properly holstered. And that was a police officer. Many of these cases have been surrounding police officers. In this case, I don't think that this guy was a police officer. He is a supposed firearm enthusiast, but at the same time, he admitted that yes, there could have been something that got pressure against the trigger of this gun. In other words, he either had a badly designed holster, or he was playing with it and did not reholster it properly. I don't know. I don't know the specifics, but I do want to take some time to demonstrate to you a few other key points. Okay? Now, this gun will not go off unless there are multiple mechanical failures. It is a physical impossibility. It is a violation of the laws of physics for this gun to go off without that trigger being pressed. Check out this video up here, and I give you a detailed explanation of how these safeties would have to fail that are on this gun. Okay, so go check that out after watching this video. Of course, this gun has been safety checked prior to filming. But what you have here is a situation to where the gun, it's designed to be able to be aimed and have that trigger pressed. Now, the trigger on this gun, compared to a lot of others, is very light. Okay, just a little bit of take up, and I press it, and that trigger goes. Okay, that shot would go if it was loaded. Now, the problem is people blaming the gun for their own mishandling of it or for bad equipment. What do I mean by that? I've got a holster here that I use in my classes as a demonstration of why you want to have a proper holster designed specifically for your gun. This holster is a soft fabric. This is an ankle holster. It's a universal fit ankle holster. I want to show you something. I'm going to take this Sig, and I doubt that you would be carrying a gun this large in an ankle holster, but this will prove my point. Soft fabric. Even though that trigger guard is covered, the soft fabric, watch this. If something gets against that, that gun could go off. Okay? Okay? That gun would have gone off if it was loaded. Now, is that the fault of the gun? Is that the fault of the holster? Or would that have been my fault for carrying this gun in this holster? Now, let's take this a step further. Okay? Let's take the Glock 43X. Okay, this is a gun that I have had for quite some time. You guys know, you've seen it on the channel. This gun has that trigger dongle, that safe action that Glock likes to talk about. But, is that relevant? Let's check it out. Let's do the same test. If I was to take a Glock and I was to put it in this holster. Okay, that soft fabric again. I have it on my ankle. Suppose something got against that trigger. Let's check it out. Okay, there we go. Even in a bad holster, a Glock would even go off in such a situation. Okay, the reason that this case is so bad, that this ruling does not need to stand, that it needs to be overturned, is this. They are trying every way possible to attack gun manufacturers, to get them to stop selling to civilians. Okay, they have been lambasted in the courts, at the Supreme Court level and all levels of the courts, with a lot of this gun control stuff. We have had some major victories when it comes to gun rights. The problem is the tactics that are now being used. They're trying to go after manufacturers. They're trying to go after gun shops directly to make them stop selling firearms. Okay, they can't get rid of the Second Amendment the way that they want to, but what happens if you cannot find a gun manufacturer that's going to make a gun and sell it to you? They've effectively eliminated the Second Amendment at that cost, at that time. That's what this lawsuit is about. That's what a lot of these lawsuits are about with SIG. When it comes to the police officers, ask any police officer out there. If they are found to be negligible for a negligent discharge, if they're found to be responsible for it, what could happen to them? Any of you guys out there that are police officers or retired police officers, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys on that. What would happen if you were found liable for a negligent discharge of your firearm? Let me know down there, guys. I would want to hear that. Okay, here's another question for you. If Ford Motor Company, Chevrolet, name it, any auto manufacturer out there, could they be sued for a drunk driver getting into their vehicle and harming someone else? Can the manufacturer of that vehicle be sued for not having a breathalyzer test as part of the ignition system? That is basically the same thing with a firearm. If you mishandle it, are you the one responsible, or is it the gun manufacturer's responsibility? Simple question. That should be the individual that is holding that firearm. But guys, and there again, guys, SIG is not paying me anything. I don't have any relationship with SIG whatsoever. I just own a few of their guns. I own other manufacturers. I own Glock. I own Smith & Wesson. I own several others. I like to get the truth out about different firearms. If this was a terrible gun, if it was a dangerous gun, I would tell you. But go over, check out that other video. Like I say, I do a breakdown on the safeties on this gun, of what exactly would have to fail in order for this gun simply to go off. But guys, that's just my 2 cents worth on this. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Check out all the links down below. Go over, check out those other videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.